Yes, hardcore, wicked. I meant to click the intro and I went straight into main setup. I was going to do the intro, try and buy time because it looked like the thing hadn't loaded up yet. But we've gone straight into main setup. Right, so anyway, just what was supposed to happen, I was supposed to go, oh yeah, here's the intro. Right, then we get all of me. It's like, yes, right. Well, I'm kind of peering over, thinking, has it loaded up yet? Has it loaded up yet? And then kind of casually swing into here and be like, we're all ready. Everything's ready to go. But I obviously clearly messed that up. Anyway, right, let's go. This is going to be awesome. Right, yes. I am really sorry that I couldn't do yesterday. I had other engagements and I couldn't make it. I might consider kind of getting some sort of social media, some sort of way that people can find out if I've cancelled a stream or something. But yeah, good afternoon, KO2 fan. Oh, wicked. How you doing? Awesome. But yeah, like I say, I really apologise that I couldn't make it tomorrow, but I'll do a nice cool stream today. So what have we got planned? So what we're going to do is, good to hear. I am going to introduce a whole new type of card, revolutionary. It's going to be called, they're going to be called Totems, and I was working on it. This is going to be the first one. So the idea is they work, like I say, it's a whole new type of card as well. So far, if we actually look through what we've created so far, we've got recruitments, which essentially just build beans on the army, and then we've got spells, and at the moment they only seem to be making they're things that give armour or draw cards or do sort of more utility-esque sort of things. But we're going to have a whole new one, which is going to be... It's really cold today, isn't it? Right, and so I'm going to call this one Angry Chuck. So it's now... again, I'm kind of making quite a lot of comparisons to... what's it called? To Slay the Spire, because Slay the Spire you have things called powers, where they're cards that you play once and they just benefit you for the rest of the battle. So these, but I thought, well, I'm not going to call them powers. And I was considering, I was sort of having a discussion with my brother, thinking what should I actually call them, and then and I was thinking totems. So what my plan is, I'm going to fill that out properly in a sec. Is I'm just going to have a quick look at how the actual game sort of pans out. I'm looking for a good place to put it, but I think I might just, when you have totems, just along the left here, you're going to sort of build up more totems, which essentially just remain there for the rest of the battle, and they sort of give you benefits. So this first totem that I'm going to make today is going to be called Angry Chuck, and it's going to mean that whenever you play any attackers, whenever you create any attackers, Angry Chuck gets activated, and you create 2 more. And you can stack them. So if you've got 4 Angry Chucks and you play them all, that means that you're going to have loads of attackers, but you have to summon the attackers. So it doesn't do anything in and of itself, but it means that when you create the attackers, it's good. Right. So the best thing is I haven't actually worked out the exact plan as to how I'm going to do any of this. But I feel like I'm just going to kind of make it up on the fly and hope everything kind of works out. So what I was busy doing just before we started is, when you actually play it, like I say, I want this symbol to appear somewhere on the left. I haven't actually worked out a good sort of point. I mean, I could even put them in the water. That could be part of their sort of bean culture, in that it's oh yes, the totems, they are always laid in the water. I don't know. It's more like I'm looking at space and thinking, where can I fit them? Right. So what we're going to do first is actually physically create the card. Now I have done the absolute classic, I've not got that ready quite yet because I haven't made the card art, but that shouldn't be too hard. I've got a kind of vague idea as to how I'm going to do it. So what we're going to do to begin with is it's card sprites, card art. I think it's, we just go like there, open this one, and then I'm just gonna, I actually quite like this sort of background. Right, so it's not going to look exactly the same, and let's just see. So this I'm going to flatten just purely so I can copy this image and then see how it fits on here. Wonder why that's not working. Oh, I do know why. That's because I've got that turned off. There we go. Right. Yeah, I could just have that, and I might move the trees around to make it to make it not too obvious that I'm just copying and pasting. And one thing that was kind of bothering me before as well. So where we've got the border, I actually left. There's a little bit which I missed in the Ranger card, so I'm going to fix that before I forget. Right, but I tell you what I kind of want. I kind of want this to sort of like, I want there to be a sort of a glow around it. So how are we going to do that? I think what we need to do is I'm just going to pick white and yeah, like I've got an idea. I'm going to see if it kind of works. So he's going to be kind of up there. And if I press Shift O, then nothing happens. It's because I pressed Alt O, not Shift O. So Shift O means that it covers everything in a white border. So I'm going to do that 3 times. And then if I press Shift O again, and I want to change it so that the alpha is slightly less. So let's just say 192 I think is good. Okay. Looks like I have to do that each time, but that's okay. And then we're going to make it a little bit dimmer again. Yeah, that's good. And then I think where do we go after that? What is it? 128. Yeah, this is why. I mean, as you can tell, obviously my art skills are definitely my strongest feature. But I feel like kind of 128. There we go. There must be a quicker way of doing this, but nah, this is fine. Now we're going to do a slightly fainter one, which is going to be 64. So, sorry, what I'll quickly explain. If you press Shift O, it kind of covers everything. Well, again, there's triangles and circles. Oh, cheers, man. Well, I think, like, because I was actually having a little look actually at your video, and it actually, you have a lot of that similar sort of logic that I do, but it looks fine. It's just, I think, yeah, like I'm really intrigued with your game though, because yours looks like a sort of very sort of kind of gathering sort of resources. It genuinely does look quite exciting. I'm looking forward to actually giving it a try when it's kind of ready, when it's ready to be sort of, you know, have a go with. Like, yeah, I'm kind of, yeah, because I was intrigued. I was like, I can see, because it looks really complex as well, because I was looking at like how, you know, how the trees have a different value of like wood that you've got to like chop from them. So yeah, looking pretty cool. Right, anyway, sorry, so 64. 64. Feels like there must be another way of doing this, but this is fine. Shift O. Oh, I see what's happened. Anyway, we'll fix that in a sec. It shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, there is. I think there is a quicker way of doing this, but that's all right. Yeah, I think I see where I've gone wrong here. Let's just get rid of that. I needed to go onto the border and just fill this bit in here. Right, okay. So now we're just going to high res. This is going to be saved as PNG, and it's completely okay to overwrite everything because all we've done is change everything there, change that one thing, so that's good. Control Z. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now we also totems. What I've done, I've created a separate folder that's just called totems, and I'll have Angry Chuck. I don't know. Why have you called it Angry Chuck? I don't know. That was the first name that came to me. It's not as though I thought. It's not as though I spent hours thinking, oh, what can I call it? I was just thinking, well, he looks quite angry. Let's go with Angry Chuck. Right. As you can see, this is stuff that I could have actually got prepared off stream, but it was more coming up with the idea. It's like totems. And one thing which I've done, it's more just to give me the option later, and I don't even know if I'm going to do it, is ideally, once, like if you have, say, 3 Angry Chucks, they can actually stack on top of each other quite nicely because of how I've kind of shaped everything. But that's more like see how it goes, you know. Because obviously with totems, you think of totem poles and you think of multiple totems being stacked on top of each other. Right, so we've now got the card art, which we've got saved. We've got this, which we saved as the PNGs. So let's just do one at a time. Yeah, so let's go drag this one. So I'm just going to get hold of this one here. In fact, I can probably just drag it straight on. Just got to remember where to go. Sprites. Let's just put it in sprites, and I'm going to create a whole new folder called Totem. Create folder. Totems. Totems, yeah, that'll do. But this is actually going in the card art. And I think once I have sort of just created the concept of totems, like then I'll probably be able to knock out quite a few different cards like each episode. So what we got, what size are they? 128, so I'm just going to change this to 128. But it's just the concept of introducing totems in the first place might be a little bit complex. Like we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping I can do the whole thing in one episode. Hopefully I can introduce this entire card with all the bits that I want to, but let's see how it goes. Right, so totems, we've got a folder ready. Just need to find where it is. It's somewhere over here. Totems, Angry Chuck. Right, now this is interesting. I have made a slight mistake, which is completely fine, and everything's good. But I forgot to put 000, which means that when I am actually referring to it in the list, instead of doing the order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, it will go 1, then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, then 2, then 20, 21. It will go in the order, which is kind of like essentially the alphanumeric order. So I'm going to actually be a little bit cheeky. Let me just check that I haven't. So Angry Chuck new. Just check that we've got this one open here. That's fine. That one we can close. We can close that. And before I forget, I will. So even though this looks a little bit chaotic, we're just going to delete all of this. Yep. Now we're going to go Control-Shift-S, save it in Angry Chuck, and we're going to save it as a PNG. And we don't actually need to put the word new in anymore, but I'm just going to put 000. That would definitely cause us problems in the long run. So now we've got all of these bad boys. Where is it? Where's Totems? There it is. Right, let's go drag them on. Right, cool. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got. I can't remember. I kind of want to have them roughly the same resolution. So 128 sounds fine to me. But we can always tweak it if we need to. Point filter and none. And apply. So we're just getting the resolution sorted. So now let's go create Angry Chuck. So what's it going to be called? Angry Chuck. Angry Chuck. Mana cost. I did actually as I put 1 down. I think 1 was what I decided was the best thing. So the card sprite, we've got I think it's that one. Let's just have a quick look. My head is in the way and I apologise, but yeah, as you can see just above there, I've got the right image that I need. Angry Chuck. Card type, it's going to be a totem. Boom, new type. Let's do this thing. Right, and I've got I know what I want it to do, but I need to use as fewer words as possible, purely because when you think of both Hearthstone and Slay the Spire, they try and have as fewer words as possible. So something like whenever you recruit and whenever you recruit attackers, add 2 more. I think that should be all right. So right, look, I think that's good. So now, what I want to do is first of all we're going to make like the level 2. So it's going to be recruiting 2 attackers. Add 2 more, 3 more, and 4 more. So I'm going to quickly just change all of that. So 2, and this one is going to be 3, and the card level is going to be 2. And there is an argument that I can make it, like, one of the upgrades I could make is the fact that it costs 1 mana less, but other cards will do that. There's going to be cards that do exactly the same thing, but when you upgrade them, they just cost less mana, which will work out. But this one, it's still going to cost the same amount, but it's going to recruit more. Right, 3. Card level 3. Recruit 4 more. And yeah, what I like with this actually as well is like, I think, yeah, because we were sort of having a bit of a debate as to whether we should have one card that covers all 3 levels. But now I've got the freedom to quite comfortably change the card art. If ever I wanted to make it that, like, level 3, the picture just looked a bit more extreme or something, then I have the freedom to do that if I want to. Right, so now what we're going to do, we want to just see if we can, let's see if all of our work from like last episode means we can just physically add this to our hand. I don't actually know, but let's have a little play around. So how are we going to do that? We're going to go, I think it's to do with the deck master. Well, actually, we can arrive to it from here. So let's go edit this script. And I think I had a set up basic deck. Right. So we kind of just want one of all the other cards. Right, and I'm just going to add, say, 10 of these. So this will be Angry Chuck. No, let's go 20, just purely so we do get hold of, we get them. And I just want to see if it arrives in the card and we can read it. Let's see if that works. And then we're going to do. Then it's going to get a little bit more complicated from there. But let's just, one step at a time. Right? Are we going to see some angry chucks? Are we going to get an error message? Find out next we're going to find out right now. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Whenever you recruit attackers, add 2 more. Brilliant. Now nothing's going to happen when we play it, but yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. Okay, so right now here is where we've got quite a few things that we want to cover, because one big deal that I want to mention, and it's actually now I think of this, because I want to make sure that when you play it, the card kind of like just disintegrates into smoke or something, because it doesn't go into the discard pile, it just kind of disappears. And I'm trying to work out the best way, because I kind of like the idea of having some sort of particle effect where it sort of just fades away instead of going into the discard pile. But I haven't quite worked out how that's going to occur. So anyway, what we're going to do first, our first sort of goal, let's just, for the time being, so there's going to be a whole concept which is called Vanquish, which is similar to Exhaust, almost exactly the same as Exhaust, where it's like you play it once and it disappears. Oh, hang on, boom. Sorry, just thought of this now that we're speaking about it. I think you should play it, and then the card will kind of like wrap over. Sorry, I'm trying to do that, and actually move and sort of essentially turn into the totem. Yes, okay, fantastic, brilliant, okay. So, okay. Now, we're going to have a new script. Yeah, wow, sorry, so I'm hitting loads of things at once. I'm going to have a new folder, which is going to be Totem scripts. Oh no, I'm creating a new card. Yes, okay, right, if this was a drinking game, this would be number 1. Right, it's like the first time I meant to create a folder and I actually accidentally created a card. We knew this day would happen. Okay. I'm just going to call this maybe individual. No, we'll just call it Totem script. And yeah. Oh yeah. What have I done? Have I accidentally opened 2? Oh, that is scary stuff. Okay, let me just close one of them. Okay. Right, I think we're there. Okay, so we're going to have... what are all the properties that we need? So we'll keep them public for the time being. We're going to have public totem name. String, sorry. and I'm going to actually have public int. I'm just going to call it totem int. Because obviously there's going to be a lot of different types of totems, and I think if we just, and they're going to be needed. We might end up having a whole separate subscript of totems, but I think we might be able to get away with almost every totem just having a generic totem script. That's something which we'll look down on the way, because what I'm going to, so anyway, right. We're going to have let's go right at the top, we're going to have the transform and the sprite renderer. So these ones can be private, I think. And we've got private, sprite renderer, Okay. Totem trans equals component transform totem sr equals get component and then and what I think totems, they're only going to have that one animation. So where you've got him sort of stamping his swords, where he's sort of stamping them, that's going to be kind of when it's activated. So even though the extra soldiers are still going to come out of the regular place, I want like the angry Chuck just to be sort of stamping his swords, like to indicate that has been activated. As I say, I'm diving in quite deep here because I've realised there's quite a lot to actually introduce this whole concept. We're just going to kind of come up with various different new things throughout. So I am going to have we're just going to have busy. And the way that I kind of want it to summon, I want it to sort of summon, but then it being a totem, I just want it to sort of wobble a little bit and then just go upright. So there's different ways I can do that. So I think first off, before I do any of this, I just want to create. I'm actually going to make life easier on myself. I'm going to create an empty. We're going to call it totem game object. And within this totem, we're going to create a 2D object. Get the square there. Right, so here, let's go 0 all of this. And here we're going to 0 this. Brilliant. Right, so this bad boy here is going to be angry Chuck. Okay. So now, if I have a look... Right, what I want to do is move this up to... So, that must be, 0.5. That's fine. Okay, so the reason I kind of want to have it like as an empty game object and put it like that is purely so... let me just check something. So it will be the... I've got to work out what... no, it's not that. It's the rotation. I think it's... Is it the Z? Yeah. That's perfect. Exactly what I was after. So when it spawns, it's going to bounce into place, and then it's just going to do a little bit of shaking, and then gets like... And then just arrive. I just quite like that idea. That's my plan. So... Brilliant. Right. And we just have totem SR. Okay. And prefabs. Let's create another folder this time. Right. Totems. done. Okay, so we can get rid of that. And we're going to give him our totem script. Okay. Yeah, I've properly dived in deep because it's like I'm thinking there's quite a lot of things that we need to sort of consider. So I'm going to have a new script which I think we should make as a singleton. Right, which we'll keep in the core script, which will have Totem master script. Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah. So before we even try and use the card, we're just going to kind of we're going to see if we can just physically create it. And make it so that, like, because obviously I don't want them to all be created at the same spot. I want them to sort of go underneath each other and stuff. So how are we going to do that? Totem master script. I'm going to go into this one here and add this script here, and let's edit this script. Move back out of there. Okay, so what are all the things? So first of all, I think we're going to make a singleton. So public static totem master script instance. Yeah, I made a rule a little while ago that it's just we're just always going to call it any any singleton script we're just going to have as we're just going to call instance. It just keeps it a lot more consistent. Oh yeah, one thing that I'd probably do, it's more of a sort of side note. My scripts that I took from other games, which are like the Mover and the Aaron script, I've dabbled with trying to keep them so they stick, like, as in if you change scenes you can actually keep them aboard, but it just simply doesn't work because it's got too many references to transforms that suddenly get deleted, and it always gives error messages. So like the one of the weaknesses with my big sort of scripts that I've made is you have to individually put them attach them to whatever your main sort of manager object is for each individual scene. It's not like the end of the world. I just could not work out an easy way of doing that. Right, so what we're also going to do is have a private game object, totem go. Okay. And now let's dot load. Now let's go get hold of this totem. Which I've put somewhere very, very carefully. There we are. So we're just getting hold of the thing. Right. Okay. So we've actually got to work out exactly where we do want to spawn them, where would make sense. So I'm just going to have a little study and then just do a bit of just have a little look. Where would it make sense? Right. And we can even actually just physically put one on board and work out. So everything's all spawned. Let's literally just drag one on. No, that probably... Because I don't mind them actually sort of stacking like underneath each other. The only slight problem with that is it means that it's going to be slightly more difficult to, if ever I did want to. So, hold on. Control D. It's not quite 0.5. But yeah, so it would make it slightly more difficult if ever I wanted to, when you had the same ones, they sort of stacked on top of each other. So what I'll do, as much as I do, that is a good future plan, which I do plan to implement at some point. I think for the time being, we're just going to make it so that... Let's have a look where it would make sense. I mean, to be fair, what would make more sense would be if I just made this island slightly bigger, so it didn't actually end there. So, let me have a little dabble. So, I think if we start, say, here... Because, yeah, bear in mind, obviously, I've got no idea how many powers we're going to make, so I want to make sure that, like, it doesn't, you know, that we've got space for all of them. So, like, I'm just trying to work out a good sort of position, so... So, let's have a look. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. This will be our first spot. And I think we kind of go along the rows there. So let's try and get as round a number as we can for this one here. So that's -7. So let's just say that's -7.5. No, that's probably a bit too much. 0.25. Yeah, okay, -7.25 is good. And the Y, let's say 1.6. 1.7. Oh, where has it gone? Right there. Okay, I think -7. So let's go get rid of the others, just so there's no confusion. Actually, this one here, that's -7.25 and 2. So if we had, how far do we need to move it right? So -6. Oh, 6. Okay, so our key sort of starting number is -7.25 and 2. So let's rock. Okay, so what we want to do as well, we want to... Oh yeah, and how much has it got to go underneath as well? So I guess actually, I'm going to just take a guess and say that it's going to be 1. So if we control, duplicate that one, and then make that 1. Oh no, maybe... Yeah, maybe we should make it 1. Okay, so they're going to be 1 unit apart each time. Okay, right. So what I want to do now is... purely because I think this is going to be the kind of... This is going to be quite a bit of fun. We're going to make a... we're going to go onto the totem, and we're going to have our summon routine. So, public void summon. And yeah, I quite like, I've got, you know, it's like I've got an idea as to how it's going to look, and I just like the idea that it's sort of like, it just shakes a little bit as it lands. So let's give this a shot. Private enumerator, summon routine. Let's go. Okay, so busy equals true. Okay, and now I'm looking at this now. We will also want a private sprite, an array of sprites, which will be totem sprites. We'll just call them totem sprites. That's fine. And we'll work out a way of activating these at some point. In fact, let's go do it now. Shouldn't be too hard. Probably over here. Public void set sprites totem sprites totem sprites equals totem sprites. So that's just making sure we've got a function here so we can give it all the totem sprites it needs, and then we're going to actually set the totem sr dot sprite, the first one, over to totem sprite 0, because that's always going to be the basic one, the idle one. Right, sweet. Okay. So, first of all, I want the... oh yeah, of course, we have also got to consider order in layer. Don't worry about that. We'll cross that bridge a bit later when it becomes a problem. Right, so what is going to happen? We want to have the local scale. We want to have totem trans dot local scale equals vector 3.0. So when it summons, it's going to be like impossibly small, and then we want it just to blow up to vector 1. So how are we going to do that? We're going to have int chum equals mover dot instance dot boink to size, and we're going to have totem trans vector. The actual size that we want it to get to is just simply vector 3.1. Time to take, I want it just to be 0. In fact, no, 0.5. I think we can obviously tweak that a bit later. In fact, let's no. I'm trying to think of ways that we can make this efficient for later. Size amplification is going to be 1.25. So the idea is it actually gets 1.25 times bigger. So instead of it just growing to the size, it's sort of, whoa. Yeah. And decimal off first bounce, 0.5. And before we even wait for this to finish, I want it to start shaking. So how are we going to do that? Right, now let me actually I'll do mover dot instance dot rotate. Oh yeah, nice. Just spotted a problem that I you know when you spot something that I was thinking this will be a problem later in, and it just worked out. So what we're actually doing, we need to get the component in the children here for the sprite renderer, because the actual main thing is just an empty game object that's holding it. So let's go change that. Get component in children done. Okay, sweet. Right, rotate to point. So we're going to have totem trans. Oh yeah, right. Where's it going to rotate to? So it's going to be new vector 3, 0.0f, 0.0f, comma 0.0f, comma 45 degrees is a bit too big. So why don't we say 25 degrees? And now oh, and the time to take 0.25. That's just a bit of a guess. So now we also want to, so like there's actually ways I can use a for loop to make this a lot cleaner, but I just want to see if this works. So while instance.s to fbool chum. Boom. Right, okay. So what we're actually, yeah. We don't need to do a for loop. I think, so I think that should be -15, +5, and then 0. Okay. Right, so what I'm doing is ideally I'm rotating it so it wobbles less, and then remains at like the, yeah, because all this is doing is changing the Eulers. Let's just give it a shot. Let's see if it works. So from the totem master, I'm going to have now. I've got to learn a little bit because I kind of want a sort of, I would call it, not sure. In fact, yeah, I'm going to have it as private. Vector 3. Start totem summon point. Okay. Alright. And we made the decision that it was totem summon point equals new vector 3. Did we decide -7.25f and it was 2.0f y, and we don't need to worry about the z because it sorts itself out. Okay, so how are we going to go create a... So we're going to have another public void create totem. And we'll have string totem name, but I think that's all we actually need. That's the only argument that we need. No. Yeah, we also actually want to make sure that we have, and we'll keep it public, list of totem scripts, and we'll just call them totem scripts. But whenever I'm referring it, I always like to put an underscore so there's no confusion. I always know that I'm referring to this. So upon awake as well, we're going to have totem scripts equals new list of totem scripts. Okay. The reason I'm looking to do this is once we've got all this set up, I can ideally just press a button, which I can't even remember what we're up to. It must, yeah, something like Z or something. But I'll press a button and it will just create a. There we go. Yeah, it should just create a new totem, so I can do multiple of them. Okay, so where are we going to go? So this is going to be a routine, isn't it? So this is going to be busy. Yeah, we actually do. We want int totem int. We want another. We want to put another variable in as well, because ideally I want to keep the totems as simple as possible. But like, I think these two will pretty much identify anything that we need the totems to do. And on certain totems, the integer's not going to matter. But I think that makes good sense, right? Okay, so we've already created this totem script here. We're going to start create totem routine. Let's go put in these arguments. Right. So I realise I do sometimes just attack the keyboard. Just have this as the sort of like the sort of fit everything else inside of here. So int number of totems equals underscore totem scripts dot count. Okay. While so we also want int rows equals I kind of want to have a look at, because I basically the way which I'm setting this up is very similar to how I'm looking to set up how I set up all the beans, but I think I'll just be able to, I'll work this out on the fly, it's fine. Int rows equals 0 int columns equals 0 while number of totems is greater than, I think it's greater or equal to 2, number of totems minus equals 2, I think rows plus plus. Okay. Columns equals number of totems. So I'm basically trying to get what is effectively the x and y coordinate of where the next totem should be. And we're gonna work with this, and I'm sure this probably needs some tweaking, but I'm gonna stick with this as a sort of a front runner, a beginner idea. So now we want to have underscore totem scripts dot add, and now we just want to add the new oh yeah, we probably want to get hold of we want to get hold of these sprites as well, and I've got to think of a good way of just getting hold of all the sprites for whatever one. So let's go. Sorry, before you know, when you're like halfway through, you're thinking, "Ha! I've just missed something quite obvious." So public sprite get totem sprites I think we can actually have a space here. So yeah, I've just realised it's like halfway through. I'm thinking, oh yeah, how are we going to get the sprites to, resources dot load all sprite. And even though this will give me a bunch of error messages because I've got a few things to fix, I just want to get hold of the thing. Right, so where are we? Sprites. Totems. I probably better have a separate folder here. Angry Chuck. Angry Chuck sprites. I hope I don't regret calling it Angry Chuck because I think like I quite often you'll be like, oh, throughout the whole episode he keeps saying Angry Chuck, just shut up, you know. But yeah, it's like I was very careful. I was thinking, oh yeah, okay, make sure that it doesn't get annoyed. Like people don't get annoyed if I say the same thing over and over. Right. Anyway, Angry Chuck. Right. Copy path. And it will default to that. Like the reason I'm just putting this at the end here is because this would be giving me an error message because you can't have a function that returns something that doesn't return something. So I could have return null here, but I feel I may as well put this over here just in case. Okay, right. So let's just go get let's just physically get hold of a sprite. Totem sprites equals get totem sprites. There we go. So now we're going to get hold of the we're going to instantiate the totem go. All right. Oh, sorry. No. Instantiate. Sorry. Instantiate. Totem go. Brilliant. And the position is going to be, I think, it's going to be the whatever this totem summon point is. Totem summon point plus new vector 3, and now I've got to just make sure that I'm getting the x's and the y's in the correct place. So the number of rows would be that would be the x. So I think it will simply literally be rows columns. But like I say, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work quite as well as if this is going to work straight off the bat. That's fine. So common, comma quaternion dot identity. Now we just need to get the actual component, the totem script. So we've got hold of that now. Brilliant. Now we need to make it do all the things. So underscore totem scripts dot. Oh yeah, I think I always forget if it's when you create it. Is it to count as number 0 or does it count as the last one over? Let's go find out. Let's just see if it's 0. If not, if this doesn't work, we'll dot set sprites. We're going to have these sprites that we got earlier from this script. So this will be totem sprites. And summon. So we've already set it. We're setting it to summon. That's all good. and we kind of want to wait till the thing has summoned. So while we just, yeah, so this is basically just waiting till it's finished, finished summoning, and then the whole thing's false. Yeah, like these numbers here, I'm pretty sure we've got these numbers wrong, but I would rather kind of like test this out. Yeah, test it out. And like I say, these numbers here as well, I don't know if when you add it, I think, you know what? No, you know what? I think it's not 0. It adds it to the end. So I will go totem scripts dot count -1. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right, because once you've added it, it adds it to the end. Oh yeah. Oh, does Angry Chuck imply there'll also be a Happy Chuck? I haven't thought that far ahead, to be honest. Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's like kind of, no, it's just there's only one Chuck and he's always constantly angry. I genuinely don't know. I think like, because I've got an idea, a few ideas for different powers of, you know, yeah, things that happen, but I like the whole concept of them being little totems that are almost little characters in and of themselves is quite a new thing. So I haven't thought that quite that far ahead. Right, so now let's just close all this. We are going to have void update. Okay, if input dot get key down, I think we're up to, did we do Z? Because obviously I don't want to accidentally tread over it, so I'm just going to go straight with C. We're just, yeah, we've kind of worked our way through. Right, then we're going to create totem Angry Chuck totem int is going to be 2. So I think what we need to do, we need to just create it, work out where we've gone wrong, because it's like there's a lot of things that could have gone wrong. Here we go. Error message, start coroutine. Okay, that was an easy one to fix. Right. Okay, yeah. Right, so I think we just go straight in with it, try and work out, see if this works. Okay. Right. Ooh, okay, that looked pretty good. Ah. That's not where I want it to go. That's not even slightly the right angle. Okay, right. But you know what? That is a pretty good start. Because that is pretty much what I want it to do. Except, let's just try and work out exactly. So, that, like, that's actually very close. Everything just needs to turn 90 degrees. So, let's just, it'll be much easier if we just do a bit of trial and error. So, I knew there was something wrong here. So, if we just say, change that to columns, and this one to rows, but I think that needs to be something like minus. Yeah, as I say, I think the quickest, most efficient technique is just doing a bit of trial and error. So, but yeah, everything actually worked out quite nicely. Okay, all right. Can we? Yeah. So obviously, we run into problems when we get to that many totems. I'm trying to work out just the... Because we can probably, if this was to be one... Because maybe, like, I mean, in my head, it was just going to be totems would build on top of each other if they... So, hold on, let's just have that as -2. Sorry, I'm kind of coming up with ideas on the fly here. But yeah, that works pretty well, I think. Because maybe it could just be like just one big totem pole that starts at the bottom and gets taller and taller. Yeah. Yeah, I quite like that. Okay. All right. So, change of plans. We're changing everything. Yeah, have a max number of totems. Yeah, that is a good point. Because like another thing which I was considering is like one of the upgrades that you can get as you sort of further venture in is like actually like maybe you can start with being allowed to have say 5 totems and then it upgrades. The only problem is that means that if you've got a bunch of totem cards in your deck, it's going to be a bit annoying when you draw cards that you can't do anything with. So I am not sure yet. But one thing which I'm quite liking is the concept of stacking. So the reason that his head is looking quite weird, looking different to everything else, is so that they can stack quite nicely. So, okay, right. I am actually... Maybe we should actually start building it, say... Maybe the spawn point should be there. And we've got to make sure we sort out the order in layer. So let's just say that's... Oh. Right, let me just have another little play around. Oh no. Okay, I pressed the wrong button. Let's hope that doesn't come... Yeah, so let's just say it was somewhere here or something. And then if we were to make it go one higher, we duplicate that. Oh, no, hold on. Sorry, done something really wrong. It'll actually be easier if I just stop and start. Yeah, because I'm thinking we could just build them on top of each other and just change the... Yeah, you know what, like, I think we go with that until we find a good reason as to why not. Because I do like, because the whole point of totem poles is you get a totem pole and you stack lots of heads on top of each other. There's probably more symbolic meaning to that. Right, so it'll also make this some of this coding a little bit easier. So what did we decide? Nope, I did the same thing again. Hold on. Okay, this is what I want to change, right? So, where makes good sense? So, let's just say that's -5, no, -6. Yeah, so -7 seems kind of okay, and that is -1.5, -2.0. It's a little bit low. So maybe 1.75. I think that's kind of reasonable. Because I want to make sure that we got space for all the things. So now, if we were to duplicate this one here... That looks pretty good. Yeah. Because that number kind of rounds out pretty good. So yeah, I think this will actually be... The maths will be a lot simpler. Okay. What if that was 1 point... 3. Does that look better? I think that looks better. So what's the actual difference in Y value each time? That is, so 0.75 and 0.4. That's 0.35? Okay. Yeah, 0.35. Okay, right, let's give this a shot. Yeah, like, because, yeah, the reason that this, I was thinking this might take us a little while today is purely because I was thinking I haven't worked out exactly, I'm looking at thinking what actually makes sense. So we can actually kind of get rid of quite a lot of these. Okay. So the actual summon point was, if we go here, that is minus 1.75 F. Okay, and the vector, the X, that's just going to remain 0, so that'll be 0.0 F, and this will be number of totems. I think we need to make this a float, so a float of a number of totems times by 0.35 F, but we also want to where we're actually setting, where is it? Set sprites. Where we're setting the sprites, we can actually sneakily, I'll call this, I'm going to rename this to set sprites and layer. And we're going to have a new thing, a new argument, which is going to be which is going to be number of totems times 2. What does all this mean? What am I doing? Where am I going with all this? Has he lost the plot? Is he? No, don't worry. I got plans. So what we'll do is int layer order. So the idea is, as you put more totems on, one is going to be in front of the other. Yeah, but like, I'll need to change the sort order for each one. So essentially it gets bigger. But I feel the easiest way to do that is just simply just set it as we go. So totem dot to be honest, it doesn't need to be times 2. I just want to make sure that it isn't in front of things. So we could have, say, 5 plus that. So it's still going to be on top of things. Okay. Let's give that a shot. See what happens. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Is 0.35? Is that going to be too much? Because obviously, eventually, I want to have more. But yeah, you can fit quite a lot there, and it just continually goes up. I quite like that. Yeah. I might just need to tweak. It's 0.35. If it was 0.4. Keep doing that. But that's more, this is, yeah, I'm going to have a little look. This is more just, this is something that I could easily just play around with what looks better. So I don't actually need to wait till... I think it probably looks a bit better, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay. Right. Now, right, it looks like we're all our work's done for the day. Right, so what we're going to do now is actually get cards that actually do the thing. So, I also want to, while we're here, we're going to have a little public void animate. Do we call it animate? We'll call it totem animate. And we will actually have a separate boolean that's called animating. I just think I don't want to stack the busy and the animating together. I think that would just confuse things. So we're going to start a coroutine. This is going to be a really simple. So yeah, the reason I want to do this is because if not animating, then we're going to do this. So that way, if for whatever reason you play loads of cards at once, there's not going to be animations that sort of go over each other. So int, so animating equals true. Chom equals Aaron.instance.play forward once. Totem SR, totem sprites, finishing sprite, we will have it as totem sprites 0, anim speed 0.5, but 0.5, that is going to be the total time, so true. So basically the whole animation should take 0.5 seconds, while and yeah, the reason I like the idea is we can quite innocently have, just at the end, we can have totem animate. So when it summons, it does the little animation where it stamps its swords. So let's just see if that works, and then we're going to do the difficult part of actually implementing it and putting it in the game. But I thought it's probably better to do the slightly more simple bits and then sort of crack on with the tricky bits. Right, so let's see what happens. In my head, that animation looked really good when I made it. I mean, as I look at it, I'm thinking, that's not quite as good as I actually originally anticipated. Never mind. You know what? It's fine. it does the job. Okay, right. So, before we even create totems, we want to make it so that when we are recruiting totems, let's have a look. I'm trying to work out the best way. So if we go attack building script. So the purpose of this one is when we're creating specifically attackers, not rangers or anything, but just attackers, we summon 2 more, or however many the card is. But for the time being, it's 2 more. So there's going to be quite a few things that we would want to change. Right, so what's actually giving us the... So I think it's add attack. So let's go... Yeah. Yeah, so adding attack is the big thing that happens. Yeah, add to attack. And now we've got to work out the exact point at which we're actually changing this number. Because we could simply have it over here, and I think this makes more sense. So so this is being called all the way up here, and I think we actually because this is the card action, this is the one that's going to deal with all of this. So I think we have it right here is where we actually deal with this. So so what we're going to do is actually, yeah, I like how I'm going to do this. I think this is going to work out quite well, because bear in mind there's obviously going to be different totems. So we're going to have a public int get extra attack total . I think that's okay. Right, and now we're going to cycle through all the totem scripts and find the ones that are going to be called Angry Chuck. And essentially, so int extra attack equals 0. Okay, and then for int I equals 0, I less than totem scripts dot count I plus plus. If underscore totem scripts I dot totem name is equal to Angry Chuck, then extra attack plus equals totem scripts I dot totem int. Okay, and then we just return the extra attack. Because another thing that I'm considering as well is when you're actually looking at the card, I don't know whether to actually show the extra amount of attackers that you're going to give on the card as you look at it. But I think I'm going to leave that for the time being. But yeah, that will be a little bit. That'll be one of those. That'll be an extra sort of challenge. Which, if I have chance to, I'll do that. But I'm going to sort of put that on the back burner. Okay, so we've now got how many extra attacks there should be, and I just want to check as well. Update. So each of these Angry Chucks is providing 2 more attackers. I know you could, again, from looking back at the Slay the Spire reference. It is very similar to how strength works, but but they're not. It's not strength. It's Angry Chuck totems. It's fine. It's something completely different. Okay, so right, card action script. Number of attackers plus equals totem master script dot instance dot get. I can't remember what I called the what did I call the function? Get extra attack total. Yeah. Get extra attack total. Okay. Will that work? Okay. So we actually just need to make sure that we've got some attackers as well. So how am I going to do that? Deck script, army recruit. Let's go have 30 of these. That's fine. Okay. So obviously we're going to test with and without. So, right, let's go. Okay, good. We've got all the things that we want. So at the moment, these cards don't do anything. I still have to press C to activate it. So first of all, right at the moment, this should just be 5 attackers that created. Brilliant. Okay, now I'm going to press C to give us a totem. Now, in theory, we should have 7 when we do this, which is why I was thinking. This is why, like, should we try and change the number there as well? So let's have a look. Oh yeah, of course. I want to make this animation. Sorry, yeah, I want this to animate as and when it does activate. So, okay, no, it didn't. Right, it's only created the 5, which there is probably a very good reason as to why that is the case. We just got to work out. Right, I've realised we've still got a bunch of debug messages, so I want to clear some of these things that we don't need. So because I'm going to need a few debugs to get it sorted. Yeah, this one's already fixed. We're too good at it. We're done. We've already nailed it. Right, that can go away. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of like try and clear as much of this because we're going to need some more space in a sec. Right. Don't think we need any of that. Okay. So. Oh! I know what I've done wrong. I mean, if it's as simple as what I think it is... oh, no, it's not. Okay, all right, it's fine. It's fine. So what we need to do is we need to have a little debug.log here to say whatever the extra attack is. To see if, like, kind of where the actual issue... Oh, hang on. I think I know what it is. I know where the problem is. We just haven't named this Angry Chuck yet. This, even though we've put this argument inside, at no point does it ever actually use any. Well, it has that as a reference. So get totem sprites. So what we actually need to do is, when we're actually setting the sprites layer, we should actually. We're gonna. I should just have called it setup. Set up totem. That's what I should have done. But yeah, we haven't actually given it the totem name yet. So set sprite layer. I think we just rip off the plaster. And we just have set up totem. All right. And a new argument that we're going to have in is totem name. And to my understanding as well, we haven't used this for anything. So yeah, we need to actually set its. Yeah, I knew I was missing something. So totem int. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we just need to go into here and just set it, because at the moment they're just generic totems that haven't been given anything. So go to definition. Yeah. I don't know, how did I miss something like that? I'm just... Anyway. Totem... Okay. Totem name equals So yeah, we're just making sure that we've actually, like, because as I've created it, I've just given it nothing of actual any substantial use. So TOTEMs and TOTEMs. So what I've done basically is I've changed this function here to just be set up totems. So what we're getting the sprites, the order in layer, so where it comes to on the screen, the name and the integer. And obviously this integer will mean different things for whatever the totem name is. So, right, now that we've got that, let's have a look. So we set all that up as it should be. And we've got an extra, we're keeping an eye on this extra attack. So I think, let's see, I reckon we're ready to rock and roll this time. So we don't need to test that. Right, so I'm just going to press C now. So it's saying 5 attack. Hopefully 7 attackers will come out. Roll 7. Yep, we can see 7. Right, now I want to still check that because we've got this one totem, I'm going to do it again. So ideally it should be 14, and I'm just going to. I just want us to check that all of them are still going to go in this formation and they don't stack over each other. Yeah, right, nice. Okay, right, now we've got to go. We've got to actually find a way of making it so that when we play this card, I actually have no idea what's going to happen. Oh, it still costs the mana, but nothing happens. So, but when we do play it, I kind of want the card to. Let me just end turn. Yeah, I kind of want the card to, when you play it, it spins around and then bounces into the position where the next totem is going to arrive, and then summon the totem. So it looks as though the card is almost becoming the totem. Yeah, okay. That shouldn't be too difficult. Just got to think what the best way is. Also, I need to emphasise that I don't want it to go into the discard pile. I want the card to be played and then it to be to disappear from the deck altogether. Obviously, when you're fighting the next boss or next enemy, like for the next round after you defeat this one, it will return back to the deck, but it will no longer be in the deck for the rest of this current combat. Okay, right. How do we do that? Right. So, we need to. We've got the card action script. So, I think. Right, okay, like my brain doesn't work in the most efficient way because in my head I'm thinking, first of all, I just need to make sure that we move it into the place. So what we actually kind of want to do is have right. So this will actually cut a little bit of code. In fact, we now know that this is no longer needed. We can get rid of that, but I'm going to have a public vector3, which is going to be called get next totem spawn vec. Okay. So, and like the nice thing about all of this is we can actually yeah. And now that we've done all of that. So this is going to be basically the thing that works out the next spawn point of where we're going to put the next totem. So now that we've got that, we can actually sort of, I just want to make, the reason I'm a little bit edgy towards doing this is I want to make sure that we're not adding a new totem and then, because this number changes depending on how many totem scripts there are, and I want to make sure that we're not adding, so we're actually getting all of this maths done before we've created the totem script. So here, so where we've got here, we're just going to have vector 3 totem current totem spawn point equals get next totem spawn back, and then we can change all of this into current totem spawn point. Why have I done all of this? It shows that when I do actually get round to playing the card, or when I go into the card script, I want to know where the card is moving to. So let's just, before we do anything else, I want to just check that that still works and the totems still spawn at the place where they should do. Nope, not quite. Oh! Yeah, that's fine. We can change that. We can just have... yeah, that should be fine. For continuity reasons, I think that should be 6, but that doesn't matter. That's okay. Okay, right, let's see if this works, and then we're just going to go through one by one all the bits that we need. What I think, on reflection, would have made life easier is if I actually wrote down somewhere my whole plan. So anyway, let's see. So 1, 2... yeah, it's still making all the things. Good. And I'm going to sort those animations out a bit later, because one thing which I just like the idea, the reason that I've got a separate thing for animating and busy is because when they're going to animate, I like the idea that, let's just say I've got, say, 3 angry chucks around, and I play an attack and it activates, and obviously the extra attack comes out. I like the idea that there's going to be a bit of a delay in between each one, or it's going to be a slightly random delay, so they're not all going to be moving in perfect formation. They're going to be sort of wriggling about themselves, which I don't know, just sounds pretty cool. Okay, right. So... we need to get into the card script. So I'm going to actually do the classic close all but this. And then we still want this one. So I'm just getting all the relevant switches. So now we want card. We want to get hold of the card script. So scripts, card script, card script. Okay. So, at what point we want it to happen? Somewhere over here. So, all of this is still happening. So, what I'm just having a look at as we speak is this code here is the bit which means we're adding it to the discard pile, or here is where we're adding it to the discard pile. Whereas I obviously want to move it, I want to move it to a slightly different place. So over here. So I still like the flipping part. So I think if we have if card SO dot type, card type is not equal to totem, then I think it's going to want to do all of this. I reckon I can get rid of this now. Oh yeah, that's really old stuff from ages ago. Okay. So yeah, if it's not equal to totem, then it's going to do all of this. Else, we kind of want to have the code. The code's going to look similar to this, let's be honest. But we want to just move it to a slightly different place. So, because yeah, we're still setting the card in hand to false. We're still doing a lot of these things. I just want to make sure that we're sending it to the right place. So, if it is a totem, then what's going to happen? Oh, actually, a lot of this is going to happen, except for where we've got local, we don't need it to be local. So, and the vector we can get hold of, because we've already done the code to get that vector. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot like this, but not exactly the same. So that will be moved to point bouncy. It doesn't need to be local. And this vector here will be... totem master script dot instance dot get next totem back. I think this might still work. Like, I haven't worked out because I think in my head we're actually performing the card action before, so it might go up a little bit higher. It's still growing to 0. We're still, yeah, that should be still fine. And we're still destroying the card at the end. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just sort of having a good sort of stare. So we are performing the card action. But that doesn't matter too much. We're performing the card action, which is going to create the totem. But I think that's still kind of fine. It just, the totem's created and then it moves into place. I think that'd be all right. So we just need to actually, where we're performing the card action. Definition. Okay, right. So let's just just want to check. Okay, there's no error messages there. Let me just save this. And one thing which I was told right at the beginning when I was learning Unity is whenever you're saving, you should go file save and then file save project. Do both of those. It might just be more of a sort of paranoia, you know, but that's what I should be doing kind of slightly more regularly. Anyway, right. This does, yeah, so... oh yeah, again, right, for another episode, it's just to remind myself, we need to shrink this down just a little bit. So, we have got... Control... yeah, we need to like, I think for the time being, I'm going to give myself a free pass, but we're going to have private... like enumerator, summon angry chuck routine, because I should probably have a bunch of these that are in right, totem int. Okay, so let's just have a look at what the other ones do. So internal busy equals true. Internal busy equals false. Totem master script dot instance dot create totem. Angry Chuck. Yeah, the space is very important there. So we're calling upon the Totem master script to create this Angry Chuck totem, set it to its whatever its totem int value is, which we'll sort out, which will be 2, 3, then 4. Then when it's summoning, we're going to have dot. We're just waiting for it to be no longer busy. And I don't even remember putting the busy bool on here, so let's just check we have. Yeah, we've done it. We've done it. I just wanted to check, so we got true and false. So it's going to do all of that summoning, wait till it's busy, and then everything's good. Okay, that should be good. Just having a quick look at something. Yeah, okay. So I think we're getting close, aren't we? Right, perform card action. Oh yeah. So I mean, because what I'm hoping is this little bit of code, which I did, which took me a while to kind of grasp earlier. Hopefully, it doesn't matter what card I put on. I've kind of sorted that problem out, sort of indefinitely. Right. So. Let me just kind of get this as a basis, and just change all the things. So it's not Army Recruit, it's Angry Chuck. Huh. No, I was going to say there is definitely a way of us cutting some corners, but like good, efficient corners in just having a summon totem routine. You know what? Yes, I think we do that. So we're just going to have summon totem routine. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. So we've got string totem name. Yeah. Like, so this way, this function, like when we do eventually make more totems, we won't have to do this function over and over again. We can just do one global one. Okay. Right. Okay. So. No, that's 2. And trying to work out if I should actually type in Angry Chuck or just have the. I think I do manually type in Angry Chuck. Okay. So it's creating the totem. Right. Now here is this sort of moment where I'm thinking, I think this is all the stuff that we need to do. Maybe not quite. Let me just check something. So I actually have it as prefabs. No, not prefabs. Oh, here it is, yeah. Maybe I have. Okay. Right, it's like I want to make sure that it's like if this does work, it'll be, I don't know, like let's give it a shot. Right, okay. I don't think this will work. I feel like I didn't check a few things, but let's go. Let's see. So yeah, it's like my brain. I'm just trying to click through all the things that we need. Right. So sorry, I probably should have put it on maximum on 5. Right. Okay, there's quite a lot is riding. Let's just see if we've done all the things. So. Right, before I actually do anything, what I'm hoping to happen is when I drag this up, it will spin around, move into this corner, but simultaneously while it's moving in, the totem will be created. And then when I play this, which is saying 7 attackers, it will then be an extra 2, so it will create 9 attackers. And if I was properly balls to the wall, like really cocky, I would actually do this, then this one immediately after. But I think we have got to just be a little bit sensible. So let's just see what happens. So, ooh, okay. All right. Now I'm going to do this one. Nah, right, okay. I'm now going to be a bit cocky here. I'm going to play this and this one and stack this one on top. So in theory, we should have 9 attackers. So it's got to be this one, and I want to do this one straight away afterwards to check that all the turn order is going in the correct turn order. So let's give this a shot. Okay. Yes! Right, nice. Okay, right. Okay, now I want to just check we're ending turn. There's no reason why this shouldn't work, but so we go 1, 2, 2 and 3. Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. Again, I'm trying, like all these times when I'm trying to do loads of things at once, I'm trying to crash it so I can fix something. Yeah. Okay. These angry chucks are pretty good. Oh yeah, and very importantly as well, I believe. So there was 59 cards at the beginning, and So I just want to actually do the maths. I believe it was 59 cards. Because I want to just check that the we have deleted these totem cards altogether. So let me actually just have a quick start. Yeah. Should there be an indication that yes, and that's what I'm kind of debating. I'm trying to work out the best way of telling the person that he's got extra. Like, he can summon extra ones. Okay, well, that's a bad start. But just to confirm, there's 54 plus 5. So it's 59 cards. And if I play this now, we've got 49 plus 9, which is 58, which is good. Yeah, you're completely right. So in answer to that question, it's like, yes, there should be an indication. So my immediate, response would be when you highlight over any attacking card, it will just have 5 attackers, and then in brackets plus 6 or 9 or however many you've got. So we would change this text, and yeah, I don't think that should be too difficult. Because I still want people to know that it is 5 plus that, instead of it just flat saying, in this case it would say 7, and this one would say 9. But that's one of those things that I'm sort of debating. I don't know the best way of indicating, because another thing we could just simply have, where we've got all these totems, we could just have a text thing attached to it saying +2. So if there's a bunch of them, it will have +2 or something. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not too keen on that. That is, yeah. It's something I haven't quite worked out. Or on here we could have some sort of symbol to indicate that we're getting more strength. More. I shouldn't use the word strength because that's what they do in Slay the Spire. But I still haven't quite thought that through. Right. So that's nice though. That's working exactly how I want it to. Right, brilliant. Okay, so I'm actually going to so if I were to do the same thing, so how do we go about changing the changing this text? So that's sorry. I'm more sort of talking out loud. I'm thinking, how could we actually change it? What would actually make the best the best way to tell the viewer that he's got more attackers when he summons it. Anyway, right. What I need to do, what we can do, because that is obviously that's one of those sort of. I think I'm not going to dwell too much on that today, purely because kind of the way which actually I don't know if this is. I don't know how anyone else. The way my sort of programming brain works is I come up with an idea for something. I'm like, oh, fantastic. And when I have a problem, it'll be it'll almost be like during next day or the day after. I'll just magically think, oh, that's how I fix it. Whereas when I'm trying to come up with a proper sort of an interesting problem solve on the spot, it's a little bit more difficult. So I'll cross that bridge. But one thing, right? I need to quickly use the bathroom and grab myself a coffee. And when we come back, we're going to make it so that the totems, when they're actually activated and they have their use, they do a separate animation that's going to be slightly offbeat. So it makes it feel slightly more organic. So all the totems are going to kind of shake in their own sort of separate sort of pattern. Well, yeah, that's what I'm going to go for, right? Anyway, right, I will be right back in just a couple of minutes. Yo, right, okay, we're back. Okay, now this one, this little bit animation with the totems should be relatively simple. I just want to make it look just a little spicier, a little nicer. So what we're going to do is... So when we're actually getting the extra attack total to work out, we're going to have a private... Yeah, it does, yeah. Private I enumerator. Animate individual totem. And it will be, so we'll have float time equals, no, actually, float time equals 0, float rando equals random dot range, random dot range, somewhere between, say, 0.25, no, maybe 0.1f to 0.5f. Okay, and then while time is less than rando, time plus equals time dot delta time. So what am I doing here? I want to make sure that whenever we're actually using the abilities of these totems, the Angry Chuck totems, I want them to do their own little sort of dance, but so that they don't all happen at exactly the same time, I am going to put a random delay of somewhere between 0.1 of a second and 0.5, and then we're going to tell, and in fact we need to put an integer here to say which one. Int totem number, that should be fine. Press the wrong button somewhere. Totem number dot totem animate, and I think that's all we need to do. We just need to fit it somewhere in here. And I think just so this is another bit when we were having sort of discussion about, like, do I often put many green comments, and there haven't been many here, but part of the reason is because I want to explain exactly what is happening. So I've got animate individual totem, but I'm actually going to rename that to animate individual totem after a delay routine. I know it doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but I think if we give it something like that, and then we know exactly what each routine is doing. So we're essentially waiting. So now we're just going to have a little play. And I'm actually going to get it to activate when it's getting the extra attack total. I just want to check that this is only being done once. Find all references. Yeah, we're only... So it's actually going to do something subtle at the same time. So while it's actually checking what the extra attack is, we're also going to tell it to start coroutine, animate individual, and yeah, and this is just making sure that it will only animate. We've only got one totem, but it'll only animate that one totem. Okay, right. Let's give this a shot. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I just clicked off this, but I didn't click on the thing, so it wasn't actually loading properly. Right. So let's just check this works. So 1, 2. So now I'm looking to play this, and hopefully these will animate at sort of slightly separate times. Yeah, that's perfect. So if we were to hypothetically, I'm just going to end turn. I'm just going to create a bunch of these. And now I want to create this. So this is going to make a massive army of stuff, but I just want to see how the separate animation looks. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. That was what I was after. It looks slightly underwhelming, but that's what I was going for. Okay. Now that's pretty good. That is actually pretty good. Like, kind of. I'm trying to work out. You know what? Now that, like, because I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how long these totems were going to take. So we're going to do a little bit of cleanup duty today. So first of all, whatever this fix 3 is, let's go get rid of this. This is not doing us any favours. Is there any other sort of debugging? What I want to do for the rest of the day is because yeah, like I say, this like, now that one thing which I'm quite happy with is I've created totems, but I have made it so it should be easy to create more totems in the future. Because I've got like absolutely bags of ideas of different things totems could do. Angry Chuck is just the beginning. But we're going to do something which is probably visually not quite as impressive, but I think we're going to edit this script, the card action script, and close all but this. We just want to have a look at it and work out how we can make it just a little tidier. Right. Because this will only ever get bigger and bigger, and like at the moment, 300 lines, 311 lines, that's not anything too bad, but as the game gets bigger and bigger, this will get heavier, it will slow down, it will grind to a halt. So I need to work out a way of oh look, we can make a few lines up here, right, and because, yeah, my original plan was this is going to be the card action script, and we're going to create like like little separate scripts which will just answer directly to this. Because basically all of these can be put in a separate one. And it's, oh yeah, we don't need this at all. This is not doing us any favours at all. Final references, never used. Can't even remember what it does. Just get out of here. We don't need that. Right. So I'm just, yeah. This could be a little bit of cleanup. So. So we've got card action script. I think we should have, say, maybe a separate script for summoning units. So we've got summon ranger, attacker and defender. We should have one separate script. And in fact, while I'm thinking of this, I think I can just put him over there. So we're going to have a script for that. Converting. Ah, yeah, now that's. Yeah, okay, this can all be, yeah, so a separate one for that. This is converting attackers. Right, I've pressed insert, but that's okay. Right, and then we've got a summon totem. So I think we create card, yeah, and we're going to try and keep it as simplistic as possible as well. So I kind of want to keep these separate, and this way we won't need to use internal busy. I don't think. No, maybe we still will. Yeah, right. So Now that we've got them separated, yeah, I think here we will still need to use this. So the only bit that's going to progressively get bigger and bigger is this bit. But I think we do one step at a time, to be honest. So I'm going to work on just shrinking. So this bit is still going to be problematic and will get bigger and bigger. Whereas we can now, we're now going to just kind of like offset this to somewhere else. Right, okay, let's go. Sorry, yeah, that would require quite a bit of thinking. So scripts, core, card action. Oh yeah, of course, it's over here. So card action scripts. So I'm going to have a little folder that we're going to call I've forgotten how to spell separate. Individual card action. Individual card action scripts. Okay. Create script. Card action recruit script. And I think this will just like, this will make sense. Oh, good. Oh, we're going to have to... yeah, right. It's okay. That's fine. Right, create card action draw card script. Right. Card action armor script. Trying to remember what I called it now. Oh yeah, oh cool, we have actually got a bit of an error message there, but that'll be easy to fix. Card action totem script. Okay. So, I actually quite like creating these scripts on the fly when we're setting up. So let's go. Oh yeah, first of all, let's go find out where this error is. So if I just press clear now, we can actually find it. Yeah, we don't need that. Let's just check that's got rid of all the error messages. Okay. So, where are we up to? Right, so where we've got the master. Card master. Because I actually quite like just creating it on the fly. So it does, yeah. And a lot of this we can copy and paste, but I've just got to be a little bit on the cautious side. So private. In fact, let's go open up all of these so we know what we're calling stuff. Right, 1, 2. Yeah, that's fine. So let's keep this. This is the big important one that we're actually keeping track of. So private card action recruit script. action armor script. And one thing which you'll probably be noticing as well, I'm not adding this script to the master. This is going to create the script itself, which I think should work. It's been a little while since I've done that, but I think it's simply a matter of, instead of saying get component, we just add component. But I think we might even have to do game object dot add component, but we'll work that out. Right. Yeah, I just like the idea that I can actually, you know, I don't ever want to have one script that's too big. So, I think we can fit it all in here. So, underscore card action recruit script equals, I think, add, might be game object dot add component. That's it. Okay. Card action. Yeah, so we're just getting references to all of these. Yeah, like I said, this won't actually take me very long at all. But I think it will just clean everything up. So as we add more cards, it will just be a bit easier. So card action armor script equals game object dot add component. Card action armor script. Oh, semicolon. Oh, there we go. Right. Card action. Draw a card. Okay, right. We are making progress. We're getting there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We still do need. Oh no, maybe we don't. Okay. Right. So we are going to, first of all, I think all of these will need the busy. So public bool busy, and then I'll save it. Now, one thing which is, you know, quite useful. So I'm just giving them all that. Now, if I press Control Shift S, it actually saves all four scripts in one go. It's not often that useful because you're normally just making a change. But so I'm going to press Control Shift S. They have all been saved at the same time. Okay, right. Don't think we need much of this. So, yeah, and then we're just going to put on the enumerators. Okay, let's just do one at a time. I kind of want to get them all in these. So, recruit, armor, totem. Okay. So, I think we just got to start transferring them over. So, all of this, Control C. We'll also need to make a separate function for each one so that we can call it. And yeah, we'll just drag them over first and then fix all of these red squiggly lines in a little bit. I done? Accidentally dragged it off. That's fine, that can go there. So, internal busy obviously isn't a thing because we can just have it as regular busy. Now, there is a good little technique which I learned where it's called, where basically when you're dragging something over, you're thinking, well, I just want this to be regular busy now. If I change this variable to internal, then that'll undo that, and then I can just simply rename it to regular busy. Which I'll do that for all of those. In fact, I think I can just copy and paste that over there and then rename it. Oh yeah, of course. So this needs access to the deck script for it to work, which we'll come to, that's no problem. I mean, we could even put it as a as an argument. I'll cross that bridge in a little bit. So where are we up to now? So here we go. Yeah, so these need access to all of those, which shouldn't be too hard, to be honest. So we've got multiple things. I think just where we've got the red squiggly lines, we should just individually set up these attack building scripts. So basically all this stuff, this information here, does need to get distributed into all of these. And we'll just go through it. So here we need both the attack and the defense building. So I think we should just have private attack building script See, this music is starting to grow on me. I'm starting to quite like it. I was hoping for something just kind of quite calm and mellow, but sometimes it does get you a bit pumped. You're like, yeah, come on. Right. Yeah, there's other ways I can do this, but I think, I mean, I don't want to lose too much sleep thinking about this because we're essentially just setting up, we're setting the scripts up, so. And to be honest, I can almost just flat copy and paste all of this into here. Yeah, and this is one of those things where kind of like, I think it will pay off in the long run. So got deck script here. Public. So. Right, there we go. Oh, right. And so we want to have the deck script as an argument. Alright, and so now we're up to I think that's it, isn't it? And I think that just works anyway because we're using a singleton. Sorry, the reason I was looking a bit perplexed is I don't think we use this at any point, do we? Yeah, we haven't actually used it. Yeah. So anyway, right, we just need to actually call these setup functions that we've made. Set up. Oh. I should just be copying and pasting here. Should be dot set scripts. There we go, and that'll be our attack building script and our defense building script. And to be honest, I can just do this and just change. That's fine. And now we're just doing the drawing one, which I think will be just probably easier if I just do it separate. So card attribute dot set scripts deck script. Okay, right. So yeah, because one thing which will be quite satisfying at the end of this, and I can do it now, but I'm not going to do it quite yet, is I can just kind of delete all of this and just go boom and just like get rid of it all, which will feel quite good. Right. So we set the scripts. Okay. So now we've just got to have the little function to indicate that, because you don't really want to be starting any coroutines from one script like to another. So I'm just going to start a function which tells this script to start this coroutine. So public void summon attackers open brackets int number of attackers. And then summon attackers routine. And after doing this, I'm like, oh, I know a way of saving loads of time. I don't know if it's going to save much time. No, it's going to take about the same amount of time, but I definitely at least feel like it's saving me time. Right. Yes. Okay. So yeah, we're just creating a convert. So yeah, what I'm doing now is basically where we've got all these routines, I'm just making sure that there's a separate function that a different script can call so that it does this routine. So start coroutine. and I'm trying to come up with the most lazy way of doing it, which requires me to type as little as possible. Yeah. Okay. We just got to do that for just, yeah, so a couple more. There we go. I think, yeah, so when we even create more cards that do different things, it will be a bit easier to have just separate categories to put everything in. So draw cards, routine, brilliant. Number of cards to draw, boom, right. Okay. Now, I don't know, in this part of the country, it is absolutely freezing. I don't know if it's same with anyone else, but I tell you what, it's been absolutely, it's like, I've just been kind of like, you know, like kind of my fingers are slowly sort of turning blue. Obviously, a slight exaggeration, it's not that bad. It's getting properly cold. Okay, right. That was the boring bit. Now we just got to get rid of all this. Right. Let's just get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. Okay, so here we have, instead of starting the coroutine, we're going to have underscore card action recruit script dot summon attackers 5 and that is going to be, so I think that's all we need. Card action recruit. Dot busy. Yeah, so that way we're no longer using internal busy. We're just saying, like, while this particular script that we've just sort of created at runtime is busy, we're waiting. Okay. Right. To be honest, we can actually do something similar to that. And what I'll do now is, so that we get the error messages, we want the red squiggly lines, because we want this, ideally, should have no longer serve any purpose. So we're just going to delete it. We're going to probably get a bunch of error messages, but error messages that we want to see, because we know where to fix it. So Okay, sustained attack. Here's where things get a little bit spicier, because with this sustained attack, we're calling two different functions in one go. So we're both turning the attackers into armoured attackers, and we're drawing a card, one after the other. But this should still be kind of fine. So underscore card action script dot armor script dot convert attackers to armored attackers for, and while this one is busy, we're waiting for that, so it's going to convert them in card action draw card script dot draw cards. And basically we're just going to use all that again, but change one of the numbers. Okay, right. Oh my word, I did not realise how long this would take. I'm so sorry, this is just taking me a bit longer. Oh yeah, I need to get the summon rangers as well. Yeah, sorry about this. I think it's more just like I didn't actually realise I'd get the totem things done as quickly. I thought the totems would take me a little bit longer, so I thought, I've got a bit of extra time. Now I'm just going to do this quite slow process where I'm just cleaning some code up. I probably should have had a disclaimer. It's like, what I should have done is at the end of the totems, I should have just said, oh, by the way, that's the end of the episode. Thanks for joining us. Right, now, if you want to stick around, I'm going to try and clean up this code to make it look better, to actually, to deal with it for future use. But I realise it's actually not the most interesting thing to watch. Summon rangers. And okay. Right, metal wall. So this is another armoured one. It's going to be similar to this, isn't it? 15 and 25. Oh, actually, we just... Okay. So, just waiting for that. That should be okay. That one's not too bad. We've got card. Recruit script. Summon rangers. Right, okay, change all this over. And we're going to have a little play afterwards, just to check everything's working. So, okay. Right, okay, that was yeah, that was a bit of a pain. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, before I actually delete it all together, I'm just going to put all of this, where are we? Right, all of this into comments. Will that work? We don't need any of that either. Okay, right, let's just see if we're going to be attacked with a bunch of error messages. So let's see how it goes. Right, no error messages so far. Right, I think we've just got to play cards, see if everything's kind of worked out, and then I'm looking forward to just pressing the big delete button, just getting rid of this big chunk of code and just cleaning things up a bit. Okay. Right. Oh, okay. Nice. Right. Oh, of course, we've only got attackers, so we can't actually experiment with every card. If I was playing this seriously, I wouldn't be very good at this game. Okay, right. There we go. Right. I think we'll get to like other cards in a sec, because I always try to make sure that I've got like one of each card, so we can test it. I'm sure I had other cards. Right, that's fine. Yeah, another thing that I want to do as well. Right. Love it. Right, okay, yes, we've got. Right, does this work? Summon 2 rangers? Yep, okay. Does this work? Oh, of course, I've got a bunch, loads of things there. Right, yes, that works. Okay. Okay, right, well, I'm quite happy with that. Right, okay. I'm sure I've got some other cards that I just want to test. Right, so the Rangers, we know the Rangers work. Right, oh, of course, I can't actually test this. But hopefully that hasn't given me any error messages, so that's fine. All the defenders at the bottom of the deck. And do the defenders still do their thing? Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So I'm just reminding myself of the death animation. I like it. Right. Okay. So that's reset itself okay. These cards haven't come back after they've been played. These still wiggle. Right. Okay. Right. Fantastic. Whew. Right. Fit in cool particle effects. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Like, kind of, I've actually. So yeah, like one thing which is big, and I'm looking forward to doing this. So this is going to be it. I'm going to get more enjoyment out of this than everyone else here. But so all of this, we can just go boom, just get rid of all of it. Right. Boom, done. Right, we don't need that anymore. So now, yeah, this is going to make life a lot easier for the future. So now whenever we're creating a new card, the only bit which we need to add is just a little thing like that. So this shouldn't get too clustered. I still got so much rubbish in here that... yeah, this is setting up all those. Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. I think what I'm going to do, just purely because I'm going to get... I might even do another stream like tomorrow. I'll see how I feel. It's more like kind of because I've actually done the thing which I was looking to do and a little bit more. So I'm pretty happy with today's stream, actually. But I think I will call it here, even though it's a little bit on the early side. I actually, yeah, in my head, I thought, actually, do I do one more thing? Because I'll tell you what, another thing that, like, I'm going to have a look at, see how viable it is. There is one more little thing that I kind of want to do, but I don't know if it's if I've got the sort of focus. So I'll show you what my one of the plans which I've got is. Where we've got beans, I think it's armor. Is this the one? Yeah, I think this is the one. So what I kind of want to do is yeah. So like I want to make it so that when you when things are given armor, there's actually a separate animation that kind of goes, that sort of starts there and just kind of clicks on. And I think and when the armor gets taken off, there'll be an animation where, like, it will be essentially the reverse version of this, where it does that. But I think I might actually save that for yeah. I might save that for like tomorrow or something. I think it shouldn't be too difficult, but I think I realise, you know, sometimes it's like my brain just isn't quite in gear at this precise moment. But yeah, so that'll be, I just thought I'd show you one of these sort of future plans that I've got. I just quite like, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually going to look any good, but it's just, we can use that for both putting on armour and taking armour off. Right, so anyway, I thought I'd show you one of my future plans, but that'll be probably... that'll be definitely something for next time. And I think, yeah, because I think we can probably quite comfortably create, like, you know, now that we've got all of these sort of foundations in place, we can create cards a lot faster and a lot more efficiently. Just purely because now I've got everything separated, segregated, and it will be a lot easier to sort of put all the stuff in. Right. Cool. Anyway, I'll call it there, but this has been absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for sticking about, and I should be doing another one definitely on Thursday, but if I can do another one, do another episode before then, I will look forward to that. That'll be absolutely awesome. I realise I'm still recovering slightly a little bit from yesterday. Had quite a long day yesterday, so I feel like while I don't quite have the right energy level, I'm going to probably call it here. Right, anyway, thank you very, very much for sticking about. I will see you guys later.